Hi, thanks here for joining me on Scotland FX. My name is Stuart. I've been a profitable Forex trader for the last couple of years, just trading part-time. In saying that, I am looking to change that in the near future, hoping to go full-time. Now, to do that, rather than trading my own account, which is not bad, but not enough to survive on if I was doing it solely as my salary, I am looking to take the FTMO challenge. Now, the FTMO challenge, for those that don't know, if you can pass a challenge in a verification stage, FTMO, which is a prop firm, will give you a funded account, whether you take the 50,000 challenge, $100,000 challenge, etc. And if you pass and trade it with, they like you to trade, following the rules that they set out, they will give you funds to trade with. And obviously having, a 5 or 6 digit six-figure account would allow you to trade at full time. So that's what I'm looking to do now. To do that, I'm going to use my own strategy. My own strategy is one I've developed over the last couple of years. There's probably a few people using very, very similar strategies because it's a solid strategy, so I would imagine there'd be many people using it. Although I've got a few caveats to it that make my trading probably better percentage. I'm 70 to 75% win rate on an average of anywhere from 1.5 RR to 4 RR per trade, sort of everything in between. So even if you're 50% win rate and you're 1 to 2 win to reward, risk to reward ratio, you're a profitable trader. If you're 60-70% win rate and you're even a 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 RR trader, then you're very, very profitable. So you don't have to win every trade. You just want to be winning slightly more than you're losing and make sure your wins are bigger than your losses. It really is as simple as that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my trading strategy, the ins and outs, why I enter, where I enter, even the position sizes I take and why, and when to exit as well. So there's no ambiguity, when to get in, why you got in, how to manage your trade whilst you're in, and for example, would you decide to close break even on a trade if it's not going your way? When would you decide to do that? And when to exit a trade if it's going well, or if it doesn't go well, when should you exit a trade, and have a clear set of rules and good risk management as well. So that being said, hopefully that all sounds good to you. You can become a profitable trader like myself. You don't have to spend thousands on courses. I will be giving away my strategy completely for free. I'm doing this purely for your education, and over the next week I will be live testing this strategy. This strategy I've been using for a couple of years. I'm just changing it. Rather than changing the 4 hour, I'm going to be changing trading the 1 hour. The reason I'm doing that is because when you're an FTMO funded trader, you cannot hold positions over the weekend, which I often do using the 4 hour chart to trade with. Trading the 1 hour, which means hopefully I will be properly intraday and holding trades open, hopefully only for a few hours rather than a few days. Right, so with that being said, let's have a quick look at the strategy then. If that all sounds good to you, by the way, this is, as you can see, a brand new channel. I've only done one intro video so far. This is my second video. But if you like the sound of what I'm trying to do, which is just educate you, and I'm not going to be asking for anything from you, I'm only going to be give. If that sounds good, then do me a solid, give this video a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to my channel, click the bell notification icon, and that will keep you up to date as and when I release more content. The content I'm going to release like this is going to be, well, this is a trading strategy video. I'm going to explain to you what my trading strategy is, why I get into a trade, and why I wouldn't get into a trade. And sometimes even just the confusion of, oh, should I get into a trade or not? And I'm going to let you see the thought processes behind the back test I'm going to do. I've got a back tested chart here. I'm going to back test GGI, the pound yen. I've just scrolled back a bit and hit the replay button. I didn't look at it. I don't know where the price action is going to go at all. I've not cherry picked at all, so there will be winners and there'll certainly be losers in there. What we want to see is more winners than losers, and those winners to be a much higher percentage risk to reward than the losers. Lose 1 hour but win 1.5 to 2.5 R, 3 R, you're going to be a happy trader indeed. So that being said, let's have a look at this strategy then. So first we're going to identify the trend. Anyone, if you've done any sort of technical analysis at all, this is an uptrend. How do we know that? The price is going up. It's obvious the direction of the movement. This is a line graph. If it was candlestick, you see the candlesticks are all jumping about, but generally going up. Then they might come back, and then they'll jump up, and then they'll come back a bit. And we see we've got a low, we've got a high, we've got a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. This is clearly an uptrend. So where would be possible trading opportunities? If you're a break and retest trader like myself, you're going to create zones where we're hoping price may come back to. So we're going to see a break of this previous high, which we've clearly got a nice break. I've got some space here. If it's just wicking and running along, it's a break, but it's not a break and retest. So I probably wouldn't trade that. I want to see some white on my left. They come back down. I want to see some white on my left, so I know it's definitely come away from the level and retested it properly. Excuse me. So that's the first thing. So there we're obviously clearly. Let me get rid of this. You can see we're on an uptrend. Clear level I might be interested in looking at. If we hadn't seen this yet. Let's assume we're looking at the chart right now and we're seeing it where it is at the moment. This is what we'd probably be looking at. So we've drawn this level. This was our previous high. It's broken this. We've got some nice proper break of this level, and we're looking for it to come back and retest this level. So that would be the first thing. We'd like to see a break and a full retest of this level. Now that's first thing, that's the first thing I'm looking for. I'm looking for a retest. I come back to it would be perfect if it came exactly back to the level. It's not always going to be exact, but as close as. That's what we're looking for, and then we'll be looking for a rejection of this level to create a new higher high. So that's the first thing. That's confirmation one. Did we get a break and retest? Yes, confirmation one. Now that by itself is almost enough for me to enter a trade. I say almost enough for me to enter a trade. If I did, I'd only certainly be risking a maximum of 1% of my account size on this. I'll be looking for further confirmations. Now, the main confirmation I look for is going to be the Fibonacci. So I will draw the Fibonacci from the most recent low to the most recent high. Just like that. That's what I would do, and look to see where it ended. And I've got rid of all the levels of the Fibonacci that don't interest me. The only one that interests me, I call them my golden levels, the 38.2, the 50, and the 61.8. These are the levels that typically I find them when you hit these levels, you're most likely to get a clean rejection from. So we can see this. This is almost bang on the 50%. Level Fibonacci. So if I were looking to watch this and I wanted to see if this was going to come back, so this is what we're looking at the moment. When I start to see it reject, because we don't know when to draw the how high do I take this. So what you'll be waiting for is to see it starting to reject first. So we see the price starting to come back, and it's clearly created a new high. Maybe we've got a couple of hourly candles come down, and we've got lower highs on each of them. So we know it's definitely rejection. At that point, I draw my Fibonacci in to get my levels. Obviously, if it breaks that, if it comes back up again, I simply redraw my Fibonacci to the new high and see how that affects the levels. So for example, if I did that, you see at the moment the level's on the 50, right on the 50, but imagine here at the moment it didn't come all the way back. It actually came a little bit higher, maybe came up to about here and then started to come back. It's now coming back down. It's maybe already broken that low. It's coming down like this. So again, I'll be looking to redraw my Fibonacci here. So we can see again beautifully on the 50 here. So you might say this is absolutely looking like I want to see a, why would you not put a trade in along here at the 38.2? You think, oh, that's safe enough, 38, because I'll get to why, but I normally set a 30 pip stop loss. So imagine you get triggered in, it has a wee spike of a liquidity spike down and then comes back up. You're going to kick yourself. I'd much rather enter in here at this level. I normally set just above it, and you got, even if you get a small liquidity spike, hopefully you don't get stopped out. I've found with my back testing on the 1 hour that 30 pips seems to be just enough to miss these liquidity areas that there is. Most people have set the stops a bit tighter than that, 15 to 20 pip stops. So I set 30 pips. If there's a small liquidity spike where the institutional are getting up all those stop losses so they can get into the market, getting in that liquidity, I'm hopefully just below that so I don't get stopped out too quick. Nothing worse than get stopped out and then the price goes the way you wanted it to go. You just set your stop too tight. So my back testing, 30 seems to be a level that I'm comfortable with. It's not too much. If I could set 100 pip stop loss, but then my position size is going to be tiny. So I want position size. I want to be making money, don't I? So if I've got 100 pips, I can maybe have a micro lot or 0.1 of a lot, whereas if I've got 30 pips I can maybe have a full lot or 2 lots or whatever. For me that works just with my back testing. I'll be live testing it this week, and if it all goes well, that next week I will be sign up to FTMO. So anyway, let's have a look at this. So this is where we are at the moment. Want the price to come back. There's another couple of confirmations I normally look for as well. I'll try and draw them in reasonably well. So normally I've got the 20 EMA running along as well. So it'll be something like this. And I've got the 50 EMA as well running along. So the 50 EMA would be, you know, a wee bit more gentle. Something like this, coming up like that, and we'll make that red, so distinguishes. That's our 50 and that's our 20 EMA. So what can we see here? We've got the 20 above the 50, so that's clearly indicating we've got after a cross. We're clearly in an uptrend. So there's one confirmation we're definitely in an uptrend. So we're looking for buys. What I'm also looking for is the 50 to come up into this price action area, sorry, let me get rid of that, or at least be advancing towards it. So what I want to see is, let me set my level a bit there. So what I want to see is the 50 coming up close to this level as well, so that it's coming up to meet price and act as support. So rather than having, you know, drawing a support, a trend line, I use the 50 EMA as sort of a moving trend line support as well. So if I can get all that, you know, maybe risking 1.5 to even 2%. So if it's only just a break and retest of a level, but my fibs don't work out, and you know, perhaps these haven't crossed over yet, they're still in it, I may only, if I want to get in, I may only risk 1%. If the fib level's looking good, I might be risking 1.5%, and if my EMAs are looking good, I might be risking 2%. So I'd be looking at something like this coming down now. I'd be wanting to see this price come back, hopefully trigger me in, you know, just enough. It hits this nice level, this retest this level, which is my most previous, well, if I ignore this, my most previous high, comes back, and obviously at that point I'd love to see a nice rejection and coming back up to at least the most recent high. Now the most recent, this would actually be my target. My target is going to be the top of the high, 30 pip stop loss, that says 31, enough, so closer to 30 there, 30 pip stop loss. You see this would give me nearly a 1 to 2 risk to reward, and I find trading like this, I am on average, at least with the 4 hour, I was getting about 75% win rate. With a little bit of back testing I've done so far on the 1 hour, it looks like I've been getting anywhere from 60 to 70% win rate, but when I lose, I'm losing, you know, 1 hour, and when I'm winning typically 1.5 to 2.5 hour. So very, very profitable. Obviously, this would be a buy setup. A short setup, I won't bother drawing it, would be the exact opposite of this. So you're in a downtrend, you've got a high, a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Set your fibs, watch your trend lines, watch your your EMAs. Obviously, at that point, you expect to see the 50 across below, sorry, the 20 to cross below the 50. I would like to see the 50 come into the price action area to come back to one of these key levels. So I only use these three, the 38.2, the 50, and the 61.8. Call them my golden levels, because I see more often than not these are the places it rejects, and more often than not these are the areas of the previous price action that was broken that I'm using as, in this case, support, or on a sell as resistance. So that's it. I'm not going to bother drawing the sell side. It's just the opposite of this. I'd rather get straight onto the charts, and we'll show it. So let's clear that. Okay, so yeah, let's just keep watching these prices here. Now that, to me, doesn't that suggest that looks like a double bottom here, or as close as we're going to, if we're looking at a higher time frame, that might show a double bottom, or a lower time frame, I should say. If I look at that on the, say, the 15 and the 15 minute, yeah, not quite, but to me that's suggesting, and it's coming back up and looking at these levels here as well, isn't it? So let's have a look at this. Right, so what we've got here, to me, we've had it's refused to break this low, and we've got another level. We've got a level in here on the left that is drawn. So if I just take my Fibonacci to this anyway, at the moment, that was the most recent low. That's the most recent high. We can see that 38 here is looking like a key area. So my moving averages are not in play at the moment, obviously, because if it's the start of a trend reversal. So if I was going to take this trade in here round about the, it could be even, it's the bottom of these wicks, I'd probably, to be honest, what I would probably do here is set a pending order down on the 50, 1% only. Set my stop loss at 30. I take profit most recent high. You see I'm getting at least a 1-to-1 on this. It's come back. I would have been triggered in there. So that's me triggered in. Not quite yet. Oh, and I'm out. So that would be out there, so that's why I would only risk 1% on that, because it wasn't as solid as I would like it to be. EMAs were not in play at all at that point. So again, I'm just being completely honest with this. I'm showing you how this works and how I use this. Right, let's have a look at this again. Right, spiking about the place. I'll try and speed it up a little bit. So does it create new highs? Not at the moment. So to be honest, I wouldn't be happy getting into that at the moment. We're kind of ranging. You see, we're ranging at the moment. You know, we're in this range here. So probably shouldn't have taken that trade. That would have been a bit rambunctious. But let's keep watching that. We're looking to see if it's going to create a new high or new. Now there you go. Right there, there's no denying, is there, here at the moment, that we have broken this range. So clearly we had consolidation in at this level, and we've broken right out of that. So now what I want to see is how far does it go and when does it start to turn around. So we're still going up. Still going up, yeah, still going up. No rejection yet. No, it's not there yet. Now that is a very, very, very clear rejection, is it not? Now you can see we've got a lot more in play here now. So let me get rid of this box for a moment. So what do we have? We have a clear level. So I would draw the level in around about here. We've got a clear level. We've got the 50 now above. Sorry, the 20 now above the 50. And if I put from the most recent low to the most recent high. Now again, this is probably not a trade I'd be looking to enter, because I don't think it's going to come back to even the 6-1-8, and even if it did, we're not quite at that level yet. So I would most likely in this position be looking to wait for another break to the upside, but let's just have a look, see where we go. If it starts to stall about the 50, well, there you are. So you could have got, and if actually looking at the left here, there was a lot of price action in round about this area. So you could have definitely, now I'm not going to say I would have here, because I probably wouldn't have, but if you had set, a pending order in here, so 30 pip to the most recent high, you see you could have actually got 1 to 3 on this if you had got triggered in and taken it, and would you have, there you are, as quick as that. So again, to be honest with you, I wouldn't have probably taken this trade, if I'm being honest, because although there was probably a level over here, I'm looking for it to get back to this level, this zone. This is just the way I trade, because you could easily come up here, set your 30 pip stop loss, and then it does come back and hit this level and you get stopped out. So if I'm being honest with you guys, I probably would not have taken this trade. But if you'd saw it come down, you saw the price action over here on the left, you saw it stalling about the 50, and you decided to get in, you could have got a nice 1 to 3 on that. So let's delete that, because I probably would not have taken that trade, 100% honest with you guys. Let me get this out of the way again. There's probably a faster way of doing it, but I'll just do it this way. Yeah, there you go. You can probably come down here and just say delete your drawings, but I want to leave in some of the things I put in. So right, so let's say I didn't take that trade, so I'm still looking for another opportunity here. So again, we've got a break of this level, so we can see that straight away. We've got a break of this level here, and I'll probably draw that to the bottom of that wick. So that's my break of the level. I'm looking for a clear break. I want to see some space in here. If it just comes here and wick, 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 I probably wouldn't enter it, if I'm being honest, because that could show a lot of indecision. It could quickly break down. So I want to see a nice clear break and then a retest of that level. So there, we've definitely got a break now. We've got some space in here. Let me just draw this point. I draw my Fibonacci from the last roll to the last high. So where we'll be looking at, probably be looking to set a pending in round about the 38 based on this level here. Again, look at the bottom of these wicks. Yeah, fair enough. I think I would go for a pending order somewhere in about here. So we'll be talking about 30 pips, which is what I normally set. previous high just there. So get a 1 to 1.58, so just over 1 to 1.5. Set my pending order. Let's see what happens. Now I should mention, if it creates a new high, this is invalid. Simple as that. If this breaks up and doesn't come down, this is invalid. Look for the next setup. Only if it comes down. And now that's looking promising. Do I get triggered in? Probably won't. Watch this. I won't get triggered. Actually, where should I have? Probably could have set that there. Probably, yeah, see, and I would have probably then set that half up. Yeah, to be honest, looking at it, that's me just not drawn it right. I would have probably got triggered into that. I would have spent a bit more time looking at where I set my level, being from the bottom of these solid bodies to the sort of top of these wicks, not all the wicks, halfway up that wick. Yeah, I think that's where I would have set my level, if I'm being honest. I think I would have got triggered into this. I think the way, you know, with a bit more time and preparation and not talking to you guys, I would have been a bit more focused. If I'm being honest, it's just a back test, so I think I would have got triggered into that. So that'd been a nice 1 to 1.5. As I said, honestly, I probably, even though it's a lovely trade, I wouldn't have probably taken that one because it didn't come back and trigger my level. And if I'm being honest with you, that's the truth of it. So there would have been, that would have been nice trade, 1 to 1.5. So, you know, stupidly got into that one, which I shouldn't have. So one loser, one winner at the moment. Let's have a look. Now we can see again we've broken this new level here, haven't we? It's pretty obvious this was a level, so roughly here to the bottom of the bodies of the candles. Not been a clear rejection yet, so I still want to see. Now we've got a clear rejection. That be looking better. Got some white. I like to see some white, so I would probably set now a pending. Well, first let me check my Fibonacci. Most recent low to the most recent high. Depends where that's going to come up. I've not seen it come back yet, but let's have a look, see if it goes up any higher. Yes, it does. Still waiting for. So this 61.8 is looking very promising at the moment. There you are. So I would be quite happy now at the moment, taking that as my high, unless that breaks, in which case this will become invalid. I would be looking to set a pending order, definitely on the 61.8 here, without any doubt. Normally just above, halfway up my zone, so I'll probably set that just about there. 30 pips. Stop loss, again, I'll do this exactly, but I'll just do this roughly for the sake of it, and I get a 1 to 1.68 if I get triggered in. Oh, we've got a new high. Let's keep moving that up. We're still in the zone. That still works at the moment. There we are, coming back, not quite triggered in yet. That should be triggered into the trade now. Let's have a look. Got a small drawdown. Still got a drawdown. This could be a reversal. Now often here, this has been running sideways for what, 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. If I'm being honest, 4 hours into a trade, if I'm still running sideways, I would probably close this trade. So looking at this at the moment, I would probably close this trade. I probably wouldn't let it play out. I would close this trade with a small loss. So let's do that. Let's do what normally. That's 4 hours, and there's been no. Normally when it goes and it goes quick. Within 1 or 2 hours, you're either in serious loss or serious profit. We're neither here. This is run for 4 hours sideways. So I would probably close this here with a very small loss. Where's the price at the moment? So the price would be here, so only 0.05%. So I'd call that a break-even trade. So that would mean I'd close that break-even, if I'm being honest with you. It's run sideways. Whether you think it's a good idea or a bad idea, that's the way I trade. And you see, it's if it breaks this low, let me get rid of that. If it breaks this low, then obviously we may have a trend reversal here. Let's keep watching. Yeah, I think it was definitely right. Imagine you kept this open now like 8 hours and it's still about break even or just below break even. You know, you're probably out your own trading session. Even if I took this first thing on the London trading session, I've now got to the end of the day and it's still running sideways. I'm going to close that and take a small loss. You know, as good as break even. So I would have taken a small loss on that. 100% honest. Right. Okay. So let's keep watching it. Yeah, look, we've just broken this. We've just broken, although it retraced back, it's wick below it. So for me, we're definitely looking like we're in a trend reversal at the moment. So let's keep watching this now, see what happens. Yeah, 100% we're in a trend reversal, there's no doubt about it. Yep, that's below for sure. So let's keep watching it. Let's see what happens here. So it looks like we're now on a downtrend. It looks like the 20 is about to cross the 50 as well, unless price decides to turn around and come back up. Kind of running sideways at the moment. Does it create a new high? Theoretically, it's creating a new high, so we could be small correction in the market, very messy correction, but we may be back on an uptrend. So let's have a look. It's only just broken this level, so this is the level I'm looking at now, of course. So we're looking here as a level. I'd like to see a clear break of this level. You see why now. This looks like it's forming a double top, doesn't it? So maybe we are getting this price reversal that I was thinking, unless we get a massive break to the upside here. Again, it's respecting that level. It's not really doing anything. It's breaking below. Yeah. Yep. For me, that's suggesting we're looking like this is a double top, very strong reversal pattern. Now it's respected this level. Now, if I suspect that I'm in a reversal, could you potentially try to see where the EMAs are not in play? To be honest, well, where would be the top of that? Where would be the top of the move there? So the 61.8, we're at the 61.8 at the moment, so we could potentially risk a wee 1% trade on this. To me, this does look like we've got this double top. We're finishing here. I'll call this an arc top. I've got an archy top here, which really just feels like it's going to come round. I probably wouldn't take the trade here, but I'd watch it just to see if I was right. And there's a trend reversal that I think is happening. So let's watch this. See, glad I didn't. That's exactly why I wouldn't have taken the trade there. But okay, let's get rid of this. That has given me something else, though, quite clearly. I need to click this tool down. There you go. Right. So what we've got now, quite clearly, we've got a break of this level that we're drawn in earlier. A nice break of this level as well. So I would like to see it start to come back and retest. Let's watch it. There we are. Let's pull that down a bit. So there we go. We've got the 20 above the 50. Let's remove this. That's no longer in play. Let's look at our Fibonacci. The last low was here to the last high, which is there. To be honest, looking at this is more like our level now, if I'm being honest with you. We've got this level in here. Yeah, so I would be looking for it to come back to the 61.8. So halfway up that wick. 61.8 area. So I would be looking to set a pending order in here, and I would be setting it just above the 61.8. So probably setting it close. Yeah, I've got a nice wicky area over here as well. So I'd probably set, if I'm being honest, I'd set my pending buy limit order in here, set my stop loss at 30, target the last high, so it'll be a 1 to 2.5 if this gets triggered and gets rewarded. Let's have a look here. So first off, do I get triggered? It's not looking like I'm going to get triggered, which is a shame, because maybe I will. There you are. We're triggered. Okay, we're triggered in. The only worry I've got is that looks like another double top. But let's have a wee look, see what happens here. Would I have made money on this? Boom! There you go. Look at that. Lovely. And I would have put 2% on that for the reasons I've mentioned before. 20 was above the 50. The 50 was up in my, if you have a look here, the 50 was up in my price area here. It was just approaching, at this point here, it was just approaching on that candle. So yeah, I would have set a pending order in there, although I didn't trigger straight away. The time it got triggered, my 50 was right in my price area. It come back down, and look at my 50 acted as support as well. It came right back down to the 61.8, which is really, really strong on this clear level. I would have put 2% on that for the reasons I mentioned right at the beginning of the video. So I would have made 2% with a 1 to 2.5 risk to reward ratio. That would have been a lovely trade. So looking at that, I would have deleted them, didn't I? But I would have had one loser, one break even, one winner to 1 to 1.6, and a winner to 1 to 2.49. So that would have been another lovely trade. Right, okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this. So what we're looking at, we've got a new level clearly, which we've just come up. That was our take profit as well. So I'm going to set a new level in round about here to, to be honest, probably here. So that would be my new level. So we're looking for a clean break of this level, which we've not got yet. So I'm not interested in it at the moment. It's running sideways. There we are. Now we've got a very, very clean break of that level. We've got some white. I like to see some white. If I just see this doesn't count. I'm not looking to take an order in here. I want to see a break of that level. So I want to see how high that's going to break. When does it start coming back? That's coming back already. I'd say that's coming back. So let's, and we see we've got the 20 above the 50. Let's put my Fibonacci on low to high. So we're looking at the bottom. So really it's kind of between the 38.2 and the 50. So I'm probably looking to set a pending order in about the bottom of that wick, so around about there. 30 pips. Stop loss. So I don't want to be I don't want it to be set too high, and at the same point I don't want to be stopped out too early, especially if it goes in my direction afterwards, which is absolutely infuriating. So it's a 1 to 1.63 our risk to reward at the moment. So let's see how this plays out. Oh, now this is good, right? This is going to give me greater risk to reward. I'll be able to set my take profit higher at the moment. Still a pending order. I've just adjusted my pending order. How does it move my fib levels? Yeah, to be honest, in saying that, I would have probably changed my pending order value to just above the 50 here, slightly higher. Right, and then this would be pulled down to about here. So I'm still getting 1 to 2 pretty much RR if I get triggered in and it goes in my direction. So let's have a look here. We're triggered in quite definitely. Small drawdown, but it's pulled back. Let's have a look. It's starting to run sideways again. That's not looking promising. Oh, we're not being stopped out yet. Oh, that's a very definite stop out there. So this is one that's gone against me. Again, I'm only losing 1 R, remember. When I lose, I'm only losing 1 R. When I win, I'm winning 1.5, 2 R, etc. 2.5 R. So again, this looks like a reversal, doesn't it? So that would have been a loser on that one. Right, so let's have a look at the level. This is our level in here now. Okay, so let's carry on, see how low this is going to drop. Looking for it to start to retrace back. Yeah, clear reversal and trend at the moment. Now that's looking like a reversal. We've got the 50 is now above the 20. 20's crossed below. We've got our level here. Let's draw our fibs on this from the high to the low. And that 50 is looking particularly nice, isn't it? So I would set a sell order in here, normally just below it to hopefully make sure we do get triggered in. So say about here. Stop loss at 30 pips. Again, this is just through years of back testing and live testing. 30 pips is where I like to go. Set my take profit, the most recent low. So again, if you look at this, it's 1 to 2.58 risk to reward if that gets triggered and goes my way. So let's have a look to see if that would be the case. Did we get triggered? Oh yes, we got triggered right in here. So we've got triggered, small drawdown at the moment. Let's see what happens. Let's just play this on. Not liking it, not liking it. Very volatile market. There you are, just got stopped out for a 1 hour. Okay, so that's that. Let's move on. Very unfortunate. Actually, see, it came back to this level here. Yeah, it came back to this level here. So that was unfortunate. What was that? If that was a 61.8, let's have a look. Probably was. No, just above. Yeah. So, to be honest, that's just sometimes they do just go against you, and that one went against me. So let's carry on. As I say, this is completely unrehearsed. I've not looked at this. So this is the way I would genuinely take these trades. Right, so we're looking like we're... This chart's been loving its double tops. Right. Not quite made a new low yet. Yeah, I've made a new low. So there we are, made a new low at the moment. Let's see how far that goes before it starts to come back. That's looking like it there. Most recent high to most recent low, which we put as there. Zone, now there's a few price action areas here. You can see the 38, there's some price action about the 38. Especially look over here to the left as well. But right up to, this is a difficult one because right up to the 681 as well, we've got a lot of price action here. So to be honest, I wouldn't want to enter a trade in here because 30 pips, there's a good chance I get stopped out. So I'll be looking to take a short, and I'd be looking for the 61.8 if I'm being honest with you. I wouldn't want to be taking maybe even the 50. Theoretically halfway, your stop would have more run than if you took it from the 50. You'd be outside the 61.8, but you've not got so much room to play with here. So to be honest, I'd probably be taking the 61.8 as my trade. That's what I'd be looking for. Probably just a little bit lower than that to get triggered in. There's my 30 pips. Most recent low. If this works, it's a 1 to 2.5 again. Let's have a look to first off to see if I get triggered in. Now that's changed. We've got a new low again. Now that's looking better. The 61.8 is looking much better now. We're on this level here, and we've had price action in there in the past as well. So for me, this is looking more likely. One, we might get triggered, and two, it may go our way. Unless we just stop here. But again, this, I don't want to enter a trade prematurely. I'd rather not enter the trade than enter one of the lower levels here. I want to see it really trigger at this level. Hits one of the lower levels, get triggered, and then it goes against me. I'd much rather get triggered further up if it's going to go against me anyway, and less likely they'll go so far up and then more likely to come back in my direction. So yeah, at the moment I wouldn't be in this trade. Just been triggered. Okay, perfect, just been triggered. So I'm glad that I went for that level. You see the reason why, you know, if I'd entered here looking at, well, it's this level here or even this level here, if I'd entered here, if I put in a short order here, for example, on the 30 pips, you know, I would have been stopped out. Literally, I would have been stopped out within a few candles there. So there's no reason to take that trade. There's too much ambiguity. There's too many levels up at 61.8 as well. So you would have got stopped out if you'd taken that trade there at the 38.2. So I would rather err inside the caution. And if it didn't hit and just came down, I'd rather not be in the trade. What would you rather do? Say, oh, missed that trade. I would like to go in that trade. I could have made some profit. Or would you said, crap, why did I go in that trade too early? I've just lost another 1% in my account. I'd rather say, well, I didn't lose 1% in my account. Okay, I didn't make any money, but I didn't lose any money either. So for me, I'd rather be more cautious. So I'm happy that I waited to set my level at 61.8 or just below it. I've been triggered. Doesn't mean it's going my direction, but what it means is it's more likely to not be stopped out than if I'd set it down here. I would have definitely been stopped out, like 100% been stopped out. So there was a small drawdown there. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's playing about that level. We are in profit, right? Okay. God, spiky. This is a spiky market. I don't know what time this is at or what session that's in, to be honest. Yeah, I would be in that. I'd probably be in that trade because that's at the start of the London session. Right. Oh, there we go. That's what we want to see. Come on, keep going down. Hit my target. Come on, hit my target. We're in profit. Oh, we're still in profit. Come on. Come on, you can do it, son. There we go. Look at that. What a beautiful trade. And only because I was more cautious, it was a good trade. If I was less cautious and set my level here at 38.2, I would have got stopped out at my usual 30 pips. As it was, even at the 61.8, you know, it went against me 23.5 pips there. So that's why just a range that seems to work well for me in my back testing on the 1 hour chart. I normally trade the 4 hour chart, if I'm being honest with you, and I've got normally a 60 pip stop on the 4 hour chart. On my back testing's 30 pips on the 1 hour seems to be working well, and you see that's a 1 to 2.5 RR win on that. So that was a lovely trade. So there's another winner. So, you know, even though I'm probably 50-50 for winners losers, I've had 2 losers, 1 break even, and 3 winners, and the winners have been at 1.5, 2.5 and 2.5. So I'm clearly well up at the moment. So let's keep watching this. Let's see if it makes a new low. It may not. What it may do is come back up. Should probably leave this up. What it may do is come back up and retest the level for a second time. That often happens, so I would have left that up. I would have just cleared off the last order. I don't even, to be honest, I don't even draw in. You can draw in, you know, you can draw in your zones here, but to be honest, the Fibonacci levels are often enough because they really do often line exactly up with these zones anyway. But if we want to draw it in, hey ho, let's draw that in. So again, our 20 is below the 50, so we're on a downtrend clearly as well, and we've just made a new low. Would I enter this at the 38.2? And not again, probably not, because there's so much price action up at the 68. So what I may do, just to tempt fate a second time, I may set my order again just below the 68, 30 pips, pending order. I may not get triggered in, it doesn't matter. If I don't get triggered in, I don't get triggered in, but have I lost anything? No. Now if I do get triggered in, I'll get triggered in with a potential 1 to 2.7 RR. So let's have a look at this. There you are, I've just been triggered. That would have triggered me in. You see I'm in the trade now. There, that's me triggered in. Let's see what happens. Oh, so close to getting stopped out there. Oof, 30 pips. It's just, I may, to be honest with the spread, you may have got stopped out there. I really don't know. It's kind of a bit all over the place, this trade anyway. We are making money. We're making money. Kind of running sideways. Got a 1 to 1.5. Where are we now? 1 to 1. 1 to 1 session. I'm trying to look at this realistically. We're right in the middle of the session. No, I probably wouldn't close this, if I'm being honest. I would probably let this run. Where was I set here? Okay, let's see what happens. Now, I could have closed this here for a 1 to 1. You know, would that have been a good move? Or, you know, did I go back here and get stopped out? Because we seem to be ranging here, don't we? Do I go back and get stopped out, or do I hit my take profit? Let's find out, shall we? Oh, I'm so glad I didn't close that there. At least doesn't mean I'm going to hit my take profit, but you know, even if I close that now, you know, 1 to 1.87, still lovely, absolutely fine. Oh, I should mention another thing as well. I've been setting the on this back test here on this video, the bottom of the wick. To be honest, I normally set the bottom of the lowest body I don't know why I've been doing that. To be honest, I would have probably set that here. Not that I would have hit that yet either, but that's a 1 to 2.46. I noticed, yeah, I've been doing that. I've been targeting the wicks, but often, to be honest, unless it's a very, very wicky market. But if not, like here, I would probably target the bottom of the body. There you are. I might go further, but I would have hit my profit here on this one for 1 to 2.46. Yeah, I don't know why I've been doing that in this back test, and I've been targeting. I noticed when I've been setting the take profit, it's been on the wicks, but to be honest, it's normally the bodies, the most extreme part, the lowest or highest, depending on what trade I'm on, of the body. But anyway, there's another nice winning trade, 1 to 2.5. So that's another nice trade. So you can see we really are making money at the moment. Right, what happens? Do we create a new low? Are we staying in the range? If we're staying in the range, would you risk a third time? Would you risk a third time? We're clearly in a range here. To be honest, I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't. It's too much indecision now. Cheeky second time, as I said. A third time, probably not. Just for the sake of fun. Just for the sake of fun. Now, as I said, I probably would not enter this trade here. But just for the sake of fun. Because it is moving, obviously. If you get different highs, different lows. So 61.8 is now down here. Just for the sake of fun, I probably wouldn't have done this, if I'm being honest with you. Plus as well, what time of the day we at? Yeah, this would be my bedtime, so I wouldn't be in this trade. But just for fun, just for the sake of fun, let's find out if this would win or not. So 30 pips, as close as. So you get a 1 to 1.83 if you took this trade. I wouldn't. A third time in a range. Second time, yeah, it was a wee cheeky second time, and I was lucky to hit that take profit there. Right, so let's have a look at this, just for fun. So you would have got triggered in on this candle, small drawdown. You're in. We're in profit at the moment. If it comes back down, will it? Or would you have got stopped out? You would have got stopped out. So, as I said, I wouldn't have taken that. I would be in. This is, my bedtime. I'm in bed at this time. No, I wouldn't have taken that trade. But I'm just curious, just for the sake of fun. But as I said to you, in all honesty, there I said before I put that information in the chat, I wouldn't have taken that trade. Downtrends, come back, nice clear retest, bang, you've made your profit. Second time to come back up. Tried again, rejected again, it's come back down, tried again to break the level, so you've got your second opportunity to trade there. The same level, a 61.8, and as you saw, I hit take profit twice. Third time I wouldn't have taken that, plus it was too late, I wouldn't be trading at that time. Anyway, I was just curious to see what I was going to do, but clearly we're in a range here. So what should you be looking for before you get into trade? You're looking for it to break this range, aren't you? Either break strongly to the upside or strongly to the downside, and then that will hopefully set your new direction for the following day. Let's just put these on for fun. So we're now in the following day. This is the start of we're a couple of hours, 3 hours, 4 hours into the London session. Right, so let's play this on, see what it does. Now we've got a clear break to the upside. Now this is a nice break to the upside. I like this break to the upside. We've got a lot. We're going to have white. Let me get rid of that now. You know we're in the session. We've got some white. It's not just like this. We've got some clear white. So for me, that would be indicative of an uptrend. The 20 is now crossed above the 50. We've broken out of the range. Clearly broken out of the range. We'll be looking for a retest. We need to see how high up this is going to go. First off, massive break. I'm looking for it to start to come back and retest. Oh, it's not done it yet. That's me at the end of the chart. Okay, so that's a lovely break. So what would we be looking for? Let's just say this was the top here. Well, first off, the 20 is above the 50. We've got a break of this range. So clearly, it looks like we're breaking to the upside. We're at the start of an uptrend. Hopefully, we're looking for a pullback of a clear level. Let's get rid of this box. What is our clear level? For me, it would be in here at the top of these wicks. So round about there is the level. That looks pretty nice. So, and if we stick a fib on that as well, the most recent low is here to where currently is our high. So look at that. That's looking lovely for a retest of the 50. So what we would like to see, we'd love to see price come back, retest this 50, trigger me in my long trade just above about here with a 30 pip stop. There we go, take profit at the last high, just at the body. So if that, again, a 1 to 2.4, lovely trade if that gets triggered in. So this is Sunday night I'm making this video. So we'll be talking, oh no, not Sunday night, where are we? This is Monday night, yeah, Monday night. So tomorrow morning I'll be looking to see if overnight prices come down. If we can get into the London session, anywhere around about here, get this triggered in. This could be a lovely trade for tomorrow. So we're looking for price to come down, trigger me in, and then obviously if it works well, trigger me back up to this level up here for a lovely 1 to 2.4 RR. So that's my trading strategy. You know, this one's probably shown something like 60%, 63% win rate. To be honest, I normally get about 75% win rate. Live testing, back testing is a bit different. I normally trade the 4 hour, not the 1 hour, but the strategy I've got now for the 1 hour, which I'll be using for the FTMO, 30 pip stop, you can see exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and I have more wins than loses, even if it's only a little, because when you win, you're winning 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 2 or 1 to 2.5 or even 1 to 3. This is another 1 to 2.5, and when you lose, you're only losing 1 R. So for me, this is a strong strategy. It works well. It's yours for free. Use it. Don't use it. I'm not a financial advisor, as I've said. Do this. Trade at your own risk. I am not responsible for your trading outcome. My results are not guarantee of your results. I've got to say all this because I'm not a financial advisor. This is just what I do, what I'm going to be doing when I take on the FTMO challenge. So I'm going to be doing, you know, probably another week of live testing of the strategy now on the 1 hour, so I can fulfill the FTMO rules. Also, with FTMO, you can't trade certain times based around key news events. So things like that, their economic calendar, I'm going to have up to make sure I'm trading within their rules and make sure I've got a solid week of live testing, profitable live testing, following their rules, and if I'm happy, then I'll be taking next week. I'll be taking on the FTMO challenge. Probably just go for the $50,000 account, maybe the $100,000 account. See how my pennies will stretch. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing. So this video's ran on a bit. It's just over an hour, but I really wanted to show you real backtesting. I did not. I promise you, I did not cherry pick that at all. I basically went, you know, picked up my charts here, went JJ, these are the ones I'm looking at for the FTMO, these are the pairs that I trade most of the time anyway. So I just grabbed one, I literally scroll back a bit, I just scroll back, hit replay, did that, and says, okay, let's have a look at it. So I had no idea what was coming next. So you saw there, I was probably, you know, something like 65% win rate. Even one of my losers was close to a break even, 0.05%. Still technically a loser. This one, again, 1 hour, very first trade was a loser. So if I was cherry picking, would I take my very first trade, make my very first trade a loser? It doesn't matter, as long as you have, even if it's 50-50, if you're losing 1 but you're winning 1.5, winning 2, winning 2.5, even if you're a 50% win rate, you're a profitable trader. This has clearly got, for me, it's got a lot more than that. You know, I'm, as I said, with a 4 hour, I was something like 75% win rate. With a 1 hour, this was looking like 65% win rate, which is still great when you're on average, say maybe 2 RR on your trade. So that's for me a fantastic strategy that works well. I will not be modifying it any further than this, I don't think, for FTMO. I will just be live testing it out this week. What I will be doing is I will be making videos of the live trades that I take. What I may do is start up a Telegram channel. If I do, I'll put the link in the bottom of this video, and call the live trades as I take them. And then obviously I'll record them and make a video whether it was a winner or a loser, and put the live trade down so you can look at it yourself, do your own strategy, look at my strategy, you know, adopt it to your own, look at your own strategy, see whether you would or wouldn't take the trade, just purely even as a you know, a trading exercise. And you know, this is how you learn by doing. you certainly don't learn just by watching. I would say even if you like what I'm doing, you have to go out and test it, get a demo account, test the crap out of it, back test it, live test it, whatever you want to do, but don't put a penny in until you're happy that it's consistent. Is at least a 50% win rate. If you're averaging, say, you know, a 1 to 2 risk to reward, or 1 to 1.5, you're a profitable trader for the rest of your life anyway. But if you're 60-70% win rate and you're sort of 1 to 1.5, 1 to 2 hour per trade, then you're a very profitable trader. You're not going to win every trade. As long as you win, even if it's slightly more than you lose, but your wins are much bigger than your losses, as far as percentage is concerned, then you know, don't worry about those losing trades. You cannot win every trade. It's as simple as that. So I've not tried to sugarcoat anything here. This is my trading strategy. That is how it works. That's what I'll be doing this week, live testing. I will bring up the FTMO economic calendar. We'll be looking at, you know, because there's certain news events you're not allowed to trade 2 minutes before or after. If you do, you'll be disqualified. So we'll look at them and just generally see with the 1 hour strategy here. Because now I said normally I would trade 4 hour, but you cannot hold, or well, at least when you're a funded trader, you cannot hold trades over the weekend. I think you can actually. Which is a bit wrong. No, not wrong. Maybe they don't want to fail people prematurely, but I will be trading away in the when I eventually go for the verification. You know, I go for the challenge and the verification. I will trade. You know, I will trade the way I want to be a funded trader. So even in the, you know, even though I could hold trade over the weekend with the challenge verification, I won't. I will trade the way I would as a funded trader. I think that's more accurate than trade one way to get you know, verified, and then trades completely differently when you get qualified and get a funded account. Doesn't seem right to me, and I think is a recipe for disaster. If it's working, don't, you know, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So that's the way I'm going to be trading this week live. The 1 hour trading strategies I've adapted for FTMO. I want to see it work live. We'll be using their economic calendar to make sure I'll also trade within the regulations of news events and such like, and I will do that. So I will leave that there. I hope at least you found it enjoyable and educational. As I said, I'm not a financial advisor. Please do not do anything I say. Do not risk anything based on what I say. Do take this purely as education, so you can take this strategy. See, it's not hard. It's an easy strategy. It's a logical strategy as well. So, you know, take this strategy, play with it yourself, see how it works for you, back test it, then live test it on a demo account, and if it's working well, you know, even if you throw $100 into a live account, trade that. If you're making money on that, then, you know, consider doing something like the FTMO challenge yourself and see if you can get a larger funded account and maybe do this full time, which is where I am at the moment. Okay, so I'll leave that there. Thanks very much for joining me. I hope you've liked the video. If you have, do me a solid, give this video a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and that will keep you up to date with you know, the videos I'll release on the trades I take. I won't be doing lives. I'll record them and stick them straight after, you know, I've finished the trade. Don't be distracted from the trade. I'll just let it run away, then you know, crop it to a more realistic size for YouTube. But what I may do, as I said, if I do, I'll create a Telegram channel, and I'll put the link to it in the bottom of this video. So when I do take a trade, I'll take a screenshot of the trade and an explanation of why I'm taking the trade, and I'll stick it in real time so you can at least look at it and follow it. Trade it at your own risk, but at least look at it, or trade it on a demo account, whatever, and just, you know, just take it as a learning process, which is what it's meant to be. So with that being said, I will leave the video there. I'm rattling on a bit, so thanks very much. If you've stuck out to the end, then hopefully that does mean you've liked it. So do me a solid, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will be releasing content every day pretty much, because I'll be trading most days, I believe, this week. Today I didn't trade, I had too many other commitments on, but from tomorrow I hope to be trading right through to the end of the week. Maybe not Friday, as I said, we'll see how that goes. And I'll have my Telegram running hopefully, and put my trades on live as I take them, so you can follow along as well. Thank you very much for joining me. Take care, guys. Remember, don't risk anything. If you can't afford to lose it, then don't risk it. It's as simple as that. Take care of yourselves. Be very healthy with this COVID thing. Look after yourselves, guys. And I will catch you on the next video. Thank you very much.